Now that we have learned how to query a table in DynamoDB using partition key. So our partition key was primary key named as PK, where we had the user ID as our value there. So we passed the table name and the user ID. So now let's try to write the code for getting data from the indexes. So if you see the table that we created, we had multiple indexes here. So let's try getting by status. We can try anyone, but let's try with status for a start. So it would be a similar part. So we function get to do by status. So here we need to provide the table name, the user ID, and your status. From this function, we'll return a command as new query command, and we'll be passing some similar attributes, table name. That would be table name that we got in the attributes of this function. Then you have, so since earlier we didn't provide anything, so it was searching by its partition key. Now that we have to search by any index, so we need to specify the index name. So if you check, we provided our index name as by status. So let's just cross check. So the index name was by status, and we should be writing as it is here also. And then your key condition attributes, similar to your above one. So here your PK again would be same, user ID, and hash status. And hash status equals to colon status. So now we need to pick up like what we mean by status here. So it is key condition express attribute names. So this was it. So we defined the status as a hash. We didn't use the actual attribute name. So we'll need to specify what we mean by this. So let's specify this hash status means. So this is kind of an alias for us. So this would mean that we are referring to the status attribute. Now let's pass the expression values. So it is expression attribute values, and here you go as colon user ID. User ID would be user ID we received in this function attributes, and your status as the status that we received. So this returns nicely. Let's replace the command here. So let's say the command. So let's pick the command that we need to run for this index. So this would be call that function get to do's by status. So it is table name that we had, the user ID. From the earlier get command, we had the data. So this was low, both were low. So let's pass another one, the value as low. Save it. And let's run this one. Node crud get.js. It says I don't have a to-do. So let's see if I have any to-dos by default for this user. I do have. Oh, my bad. So I was passing the priority as low, whereas the value, the status is to do. So let's fix that quickly. Okay, let's run this again. Node crud slash get.js, and it returns me a new one when I passed low as the value. So if it doesn't matches the status values, it would return you empty array. So since I anyways have two to-dos in my DB and both are with status to do, let's create another to-do with the status as in progress. So I can just copy this value and pass it here. So all I need to do is run this file again, crud create.js. So it has created a to-do for me easily. Let's pass the same value here also, in progress. So now, as expected, it should be returning us only one value. So get.js, and it returns me a single value with status as in progress. If I would pass the sort key as well, so it would look like sk equals to sk, and let's just pass the static value as :sk and 2. So if now that we have passed the primary key and sort key to get the data respectively, we should be getting just one record, because there will be only one record existing with a combination of that user ID and the sort key. So this becomes get.js, and here it goes. It returns me with the sort key of 2. And I hope this makes things clear how we would be querying our DynamoDB table in different formats, like on the basis of indexes or your partition keys that we created.